Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Matthew, Watty's channel, back in the game room for another episode. So today we are continuing on with some of the reviews of the bootleg or knockoff wrestling action figures. So as you guys know, this video was coming. I've been talking about it the last few days. And so today we're looking at the 2-inch action wrestlers bootleg knockoff figures. And I kind of tried doing some research on these figures because, again, I mean, with a lot of these bootleg figures, there's not really a lot of information about them. And unless you come across them by chance, you're probably never even going to know about them. But I felt like it was a really simple line to collect. You know, not crazy expensive or anything like that. So, you know, I felt like you could get it done in literally, I actually got these done in one purchase. I think I got them all from the same seller. So, I could be wrong. I may have gotten them from multiple people, but I think they all came in from one person. So that's pretty solid. And because I only think this is going to be like a 10-minute video, I mean, there's no way possible that this should really go out anywhere further than 10 minutes. In order to make the video a little bit longer, I'm going to try to kind of expand on the Mannix International Wrestling Champion figures as well. So the last time we did a Mannix review, we looked at 6 loose figures. Since then, I did get a couple of individual figures on card. I did go ahead and purchase that 5-pack I was telling you guys about, and I also got one of the 2-packs. So it'll be nice to kind of see those figures on card as well. Yesterday, 2 Holy Grail pieces just came in, and that same seller that I bought those 2 Grail pieces from, I'm also buying another probably extreme Grail piece. He's working with me, so he's going to allow me to pay him in installments. So a crazy expensive figure, but considering what it had been going for, I'm just hoping that the package is in crisp condition. You know, no damage to the bubble. There's no lift on the bubble or anything like that. And when I talk about these 2 Grail pieces, hopefully I'll have that Grail piece in hand as well, and I'll be able to talk about that as well. So depending on what's going to happen in the next week regarding that one, man, I got so many Grail pieces coming at once. It's kind of hard to keep track of all of them, especially considering that they're coming from a couple different sellers, or a few different sellers. So, but that Andre figure on auction, so far I'm still the only bidder, luckily. When you list the price at about $2,000, it's kind of hard for there to be a lot of interested buyers, and if it wasn't for, you know, a little extra income I started getting recently, I would have never been able to pick those up. But so that's kind of what I'm working on right now, and with each passing day, I feel like I'm moving in one step closer to completing the MOC LJN collection. So that's going to be huge for me if or when that happens. Back to the action wrestlers, which is the primary source of this video. Just like any of my other videos, any of my other bootleg knockoff videos, they will be found in the bootleg folder. So any of you guys interested in any particular figures that you may not have seen from me in the past, you know, check that folder out. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find a bunch of different bootlegs. And if you're new to the channel or relatively new, and you know there's particular lines or figures that you're interested in, again, you know, go to my page, review the different playlists. I've got folders for everything. So I feel like it's almost impossible not to find a particular line or of interest. I pretty much have everything. At least it feels that way sometimes. So, and that's why I like making these videos. You know, always picking up new things just so that I have something for you guys and to enjoy. So the first one I want to take a look at, and I had to write down the names because none of these figures have name tags associated with it, not on the front, and the back of the cards are just blank. So I looked it up on the wrestling figure database to kind of get an idea of, you know, when these were made and whatnot. You know, distributor, most likely came out of China, bootleg versions. Couldn't find a distribution year, unfortunately. So they do have a few different individual figures on single card, and those are like normal Remco style figures, you know, 5.5 inch figures, whatnot. You're also going to find I believe they had a 12-pack, and yep, and they also have a couple of different 4-packs. When you see the 4-pack, they're all horizontal, straight across, whereas your 3-packs are normally going to be in like a little triangle as they're situated on the card. But the first 3-pack we're going to look at are wrestlers Pat Crash, Lord Power, and Lucky Smile. Now you're thinking, who the heck are those? Well, basically look at it as left to right. In a nutshell, it's the $1 Million Man and the Bushwhackers. Again, as bootleg, copyright infringement, you can't exactly use their real names. So, kind of starting off here, that's Pat Crash, and then Lord Power, and then Lucky Smile here. And essentially, this is all you're looking at with these figures. So when I said that this could have been a 10-minute video, that's honestly the one time in my life that I gave a small number and probably meant it. But again, I know you guys like longer videos from me, so I try to extend them as much as I possibly can. On card, when you kind of look at them in the pictures, they look larger. They look more presentable and something that you would love to have. And then you get them in, and they're like these little baby things, and I'm like, I recently purchased like a Owen Hart and a Bret Hart figure, and they said mini wrestlers. I'm like, okay, cool. I just thought they're a little smaller figures. So if Hasbro is like that big, I was thinking maybe like that big. But these things come in, they're like that big. I'm like, oh heck no. To be honest, these figures would only supplement my interest by being on card. Like, I couldn't ever imagine going out and looking for these pieces loose. I know I love to say that, and it's true, that I enjoy having both loose and card figures for display, but these I'd have absolutely no interest whatsoever in these as individual loose figures. Now, if I was on auction and I was coming across somebody's page and I saw them, and literally the entire lot was right there, and I got them for like a few bucks, yeah, I'd pick them up. Why not? But, I mean, you can't do anything with these. I couldn't even be a 4-year-old child and have any pleasure with these. And a parent giving these to anyone like under the age of 4 or 5, those little babies are probably going to choke on these. So, I just don't understand what purpose that these particular figures serve. But like I said, for bootleg figures, they look good. They look pretty solid. Especially for little tiny miniature figures. I mean, like I said, they look like they're about 2 inches. They're not like crazy big or anything. The camera isn't making them look any smaller. They really are minuscule. I mean, kind of for comparison. Yeah. That is the first set of 3. Now on here it does say 12 assorted, collect them all. So I'm assuming I have all of the 3 sets. And like I said, there's also a couple 4-packs. There's a 12-pack, a few much larger single packs. But if I ever see those action wrestlers, yeah, I'll want to add them to this collection. But right now, just getting the complete 3-pack is sufficient. Next one up, we've got King Joe, Batty Policeman, and Wild Red. And essentially, who you're getting is Hulk Hogan, Big Boss Man, and Akeem. And, I don't know. I mean, maybe if you look at this, I think it's Akeem. But some people might look at it and think maybe it's like Nikolai Volkov or something. I honestly think that Akeem would work best because the tag team with Big Boss Man. You had the Bushwhackers with the $1 Million Man. Why not have Twin Towers along with Hulk Hogan, right? So the cards, again, a lot of bootlegs are like this. There's really nothing on the back. And if they do have something on the back, it's like very small writing or graphics. Nothing that really blows your mind, as far as artwork is concerned. The front of the cards look pretty decent. These figures, I don't think they would be shabby at all if you were actually looking at like actual 4 or 5 inch figures. But because they're so tiny, it's just, I feel like you're throwing your money away if you buy these. But for someone like me who's trying to collect everything, every line, yeah. And I know realistically I am never going to be able to get every single figure from every single line. It's just not going to happen. I talk about the Jakks Classic Superstars all the time. When I started collecting them, I thought, once I got to over 100, I'm like, man, I got to be close to completing this collection, and finding out that at 100 plus figures unpackaged, I probably had like less than 20%. And I'm like, nah, forget that. These things are just way too, they take up a lot of space and they're extremely pricey. We're not talking hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but considering the cost of the package and how many I have to go through, I'm actually thinking with the Jakks Classic Superstars, I might actually have to start selling off some of those at some point, because, again, I mean, I'm probably feeling like I got the shelves right in front of me where where I have the display with all of the bendies and thumb wrestlers. I got 2 shelves there. I've got about 4 or 5 shelves here full of them, and I got 5 full shelves in the back. Not to mention all the 2 and 3 packs that are on the back wall shelves. And it just, man, just imagine how many more things I could, fill those shelves with if I didn't have to fill those in. But that's another story. This is a action wrestler video, so let's try to stay on topic. Hogan always looks like Hulk Hogan, but I gotta admit, so far between Ted DiBiase and I think Big Boss Man are probably the 2 best looking figures aesthetically. And you get like the AWA Remco, or not Remco, the WWF Remco hockey table, air hockey table. And that little hockey sticks and everything. I think those would actually mesh really well with these, but obviously they're not the same thing. So graphics wise, I mean, who is that? I could probably say Ultimate Warrior in the top, but I don't know who I'd even classify the other guy as. And with that hair, he could be Ric Flair. He could look like Owen Hart for all I know. I don't. Generic guys. I mean, I don't really think they're expected to really be anybody. This one I like because I like the names that they give them. Jack Tiger, Jungle Man, and Jim Hurricane. And I find it funny that they give the last guy, Jim, the name of Jim. Why? Because Jim Hurricane is Jim Duggan. You also got Jimmy Snuka, and you have the Ultimate Warrior. Once again, Jack Tiger as Jimmy Snuka. The Ultimate Warrior is Jungle Man. And Jim Duggan for Jim Hurricane. Snuka, there's a lot of Snuka figures that I'm not a huge fan of. Like, I can't... Alright, let me clarify for those who are new. When it comes to things like Hasbro and LJN, I'm a huge fan of the overall line. And I say I absolutely love all the figures. But even though I say I love the figures, there's also the same type of lines where I say I can't stand certain things. And Jimmy Snuka is definitely one of them. As far as LJN is concerned, the Jimmy Snuka figure is one of the worst action figures ever created. And his Hasbro figure I had as a kid, so I have nostalgia for that particular figure. But I never liked it as a kid, and definitely one of the top 10 worst Hasbro figures. But then you get something like this. A bootleg figure. A 2-inch, probably even smaller than 2 inches, but we're going to call it a 2-inch figure. And yet, this is probably one of the best Jimmy Snuka figures I've ever seen. How? So, I don't know. I like the fact that, Jim Duggan kind of has like... He's kind of like Ric Flair from Galoob, And all those guys kind of crouch over, arms spread apart. So, solid working. So, for the first time, the guy up top in this pyramid, in the little triangle of figures, is not the best figure in the lot. I'd probably go with Snuka among these 3, followed by Duggan, who's, very close up there. Very solid figure. Again, I mean, there's graphics-wise, really nothing to add. More you can add for this. For ages 4 and up. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, you had to have this for someone who was like age 4 or 5 because, you're looking at like someone who's 1 or 2 years old, who might be small enough to actually be able to play with these, you can't give it to them because they're gonna swallow it, they're gonna choke and die. So very dangerous figures for very small kids. And by the time you get it to someone who could really use them and appreciate them, I mean, what, 6, 7 years old, you think that they want to play with something like this? Also consider that, yeah, they're bigger, their hands are bigger, theoretically. You couldn't, these aren't serviceable. That's where figures like Hasbro are perfect. Right size, right build. So that is 9 out of 12 figures. The last one we are going to look at is going to feature Bullhammer. Looks like Harry Badface and American Hero. Bullhammer, Harry Badface, and American Hero. And it's just Brutus Beefcake, Jake Roberts, and Macho King. Because of that crown, you can really know, you can at least generate an idea of when these packages were released. So, Macho King in probably late 80s, definitely early 90s. So he was already Macho King when Hasbro Series 2 came out in 1991. So even though there's not a year associated with these figures, based on Macho King, I'm probably going to say sometime between 89 and let's say 93 would be a fair assessment. And of course, when 92 Series 3 Hasbro, he was back to Macho Man. So, giving that extra time period, giving it around a 4 or 5 year period, you could kind of estimate when these were released. So, for all I knew, this could have been like 2000 release, 2010, 2018. Who knows? There's no history on these as far as release date. But again, you got to use your brain and kind of estimate. So, I think around 1992 sounds about fair. For me, 7 years old, imagine if I was given this at age 7. We would never in a million years use these guys. You couldn't. What are we going to do? Wrestle them with our Galoob and Hasbros? They would serve no purpose. Like I said, I mean, having these carded, they look great for what they are while in package. But it's like, I talk about the Jakks Classic Superstars. I love the figures when they're inside their respective package. But if you take the figure out and display them loose, the figures mean absolutely nothing to me. They're only valuable to me because I love the Jakks Classic Superstars box sets that they come in. That's it. And I kind of feel the same way about these. So, like I said, guys, as far as the action wrestlers, a very easy video. I did not expect this to take long at all. So, kind of in order to prolong this video a little bit more, as I mentioned, a few days ago, I knocked out the Mannix International Wrestling Champion bootleg figures. And this video is also going to play as kind of like a part 2 for that Mannix review. So, having 6 figures, I talked about a couple of the tag team sets, the loose individual package, as well as like the 5-man box sets. And I'm like, if you get the carded figures, the single carded figures, you really didn't need to get the 5-pack and vice versa. I kind of went both ways and did it both ways. I picked up a little bit of each side, so it gives me a little bit more information to pass along to you guys. So, for those who didn't see that Mannix video, right now I have the loose figures kind of displayed alongside the Thumb Wrestlers and Bendies, and they included Razor Ramon, Adam Bomb, Diesel, Hulk Hogan, Lex Luger, and Shawn Michaels. And I had them all loose, no carded figures. Today, I got 4 new packages in, so we're going to take a look at some of those additional figures, or the same figures, on card. And of course, I got 1 new figure to add as well. So, this is your Mannix International Wrestling Champions figure. This is Adam Bomb on card. And as I said, when you look at the actual card, There's no name associated with this character. The back of the card, just like pretty much any of your bootleg figures, there's either going to be blank or very small writing on the back. Nothing flashy. So a very simple bootleg figure. The graphics, okay. You know, action figure, whatever. IWC for International Wrestling Champions, got it. Got the little Mannix symbol down here, cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't see any production date or anything like that, you know, outside of Made in China. And, yeah. Maybe you could look up the SKU to kind of find out when or where it came from, but I don't know. Not important. So, who was it? Somebody had it listed for like $22, and I think I was talking about it where I sent him an offer for like $15 because he had like $10 shipping or something. Someone else had it listed for like $27, and I put an offer of like $18. And, you know, I basically would have ended up paying the same price based on, you know, shipping costs, and they accepted. So, you know what, the first guy, you know, you snooze, you lose, essentially. And that's why I always try my best when I can to respond to messages on eBay as quickly as possible. Because, you know what, if somebody sends me let's say I'm selling this for $20, and they send me an offer for $17, and they send me that offer at 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's 7 o'clock at night, and there's no response. He might be, you know, searching through eBay and come across this figure for $10 with free shipping, and then I'm like, you know what, I could have sold it to him for $17 with $5 shipping or whatnot. So, but yeah, like I said, I mean, everybody's trying to maximize, and I get it. You want to get the most bang for your buck and all. Makes sense. I mean, why else do you sell on eBay but to earn some extra cash? But at the same time, you also got to be smart as a seller, because, you know, you got to gauge the market. And because I've lived on eBay the last couple years, I pretty much can tell you almost to the penny what an item will sell for a certain seller. I've gotten really good at that. Kind of funny that recently there's a seller I found. So he's starting bid price, make an offer, and I've submitted a ton of offers, and of course he declined them all. You know, the auction had been going, I think, for a couple days or something, and, you know, he wanted to wait till the auction ended. Didn't really respond to me, just declined offer. And it's funny because the offers I was putting in, I was actually willing, I think I was paying more than what it would sell for, because I wanted to end the auction early and get those figures, you know, have low spares, duplicates, you know, that I could put together. Pretty much all of the offers I put in was higher than what he sold them for. I think one was like, I think I offered like $20 for one item. Let's say a junkyard dog with chain, and it sold for like $20.50 as an example. So we're not talking huge difference either. And just kind of reflecting on that, I'm like, I'm really good at determining what something will sell for, and I'm very pleased with myself. Just one small example, but, you know, I'm constantly doing that as well. And that's why it ticks me off when I kind of see my figures sell for less than what I know they should go for. What was I talking about? I always go off on these tangents and I kind of forget my point or whatnot. Or kind of forget the story at hand. So, Atom Bomb, definitely one of my favorite Mannix figures, one of my favorite bootleg figures in general. Absolutely love this one. And to get this one on card, I said that there's at least two cards I wanted, and Diesel and Atom Bomb were definitely a couple of them. So at least having one of them on card right now to start off, awesome. So I did not have this figure loose. I did have a Hulk Hogan figure loose, but it was a NWO Hulk Hogan, and this, it's still Hulk Hogan, same color scheme, kind of like his WrestleMania 9 color scheme, but the face is not the most reminiscent to Hogan, because you think of Hogan as blonde, or basically yellow hair, yellow mustache, whatnot, and this guy's in all black, but it's a Hogan nonetheless. And it's not one that I had in my initial video, so getting this guy and also getting him carded, that actually means a lot as well. Same thing. It doesn't really tell you anything additional. All the cards are going to say exactly the same thing. And I would actually like this to get this guy loose because, because I have all those other figures loose, it only makes sense to have everything loose as well. And all of these cards, if they sell for a fair price, I mean, I don't want to pay $30, $40, $50 on them, I paid up on a few of these. Like this one was like a starting bid of like $30. And I put an offer in because it's, the option to make an offer. And I just offered his starting bid price. If you guys know me, when I do my auctions, if I have like a starting bid price of $11, that means at the bare minimum, if it sells for $11, I can live with that. So if I have like a make offer option, even if I just listed an item 2 seconds ago, you send me an offer for that $11, there's a good chance I'm going to sell it to you. I'd rather make that money fast than have to sit around for a week and hope that it sells, So, I was able to pick this one up, and I kind of see why, he sold it for $30. It's not the most pristine card and everything. Yeah, the figure is a little bit more rare and everything, so that obviously holds some value, but the card back is not pristine. It's okay. They're bootleg. I don't really expect these, no matter what you're going to sell them, whether it's 10 years from now, 30 years from now. I really don't expect them to go up that much in value, if at all. There's a very niche market for these guys, and I feel like I'm probably like the biggest niche buyer. This one is more reminiscent to your Hasbros in terms of size. The other Mannix figures, they hover around 5.5 inches. These are probably 4-inch figures, but you couldn't use these with your Hasbros. If I had these and I did, I wouldn't enjoy it. Super small, super thin bodies, so not the big bulky figures you're accustomed with Galoob and Hasbro figures. But it is one of the tag teams, so when I found this, I had to pick it up. And this was your IWC 2-pack. And like I said, more size reminiscent to Hasbro. Just, super freaking small in terms, super thin and everything. No bulk to it. So kind of give that size comparison a little bit. So this does have a little bit more graphics on the back. Not a lot. So generally same stuff on the bottom for the most part. They just add that IWC stuff on the back there. The one thing I do like about this particular figures is each figure does come with his own championship belt. But those friggin' belts, man, they're so tiny and crazy. It's something different though. And it does come with so you got the chair in the background. I'm not really sure what this is. It looks like a shower head, but I'm just gonna call it a pipe. So I'm assuming that the pipe and the chair are basically accessories for battle. You gotta cheat to win your match most of the time. Who is the good guy and who's the bad guy? So, kind of funny thing. I actually learned this recently, like earlier this year. So apparently, in order to be a good guy, you have to be clean shaven, and to be a bad guy, you got to have facial hair. I'm like, why was that ever a thing? That's insane to think about that. I mean, yeah, the Hart Foundation were bad guys at one point, sure, got it. But to me, I kind of look at Jim Neidhart. To me, I would never really look at Jim Neidhart as a bad guy. He'll always be a face to me. Hulk Hogan, biggest face in history, come on. And so I don't buy into the whole, like the Giant. What was that guy's name? Was it Mike or something? Darn. But anyways, the Giant, aka Big Show, when he, as a heel, full facial hair, as soon as he turned babyface, he had to shave all of it, and that's how you determine, good guys from bad guys. I'm like, okay, whatever. Based on that criteria, okay, bad guy, good guy. I mean, it makes things easier, sure, but anything else about this? And I'll give you guys one more look at the figures. These guys are nothing special, and I almost undervalue these as much as I undervalue the 2-inch figures we just saw earlier in the video, nice to have a 2-pack, at least one 2-pack, just for reference when I make these videos. But to me, I think overall, I'd rather have my money than have those. And I did say, guys, I pulled the trigger and purchased at least one 5-pack. And this is one of the reasons why I talk about don't just give up or sleep on, buyers who send you offers. Just because they come in at an offer lower than what you're comfortable with doesn't necessarily mean they will never work with you. I always send my buyers offers, and I don't ever seem to actually make a deal, which sucks. I know a lot of people aren't like me, but if I'm watching something, it's because I'm interested in it. And I think this guy had it listed for $250, and I don't value these figures that much. And well, the box set, that is. I like the figures, no doubt, but I just don't think it's worth no $250. I came in at like 110. I kind of had a 95 to 99% certainty that he was going to deny it. But, you got to see where you're at and see where he's at. I came back, he declined the offer. I came back and I offered him 150. Okay, he sees that I'm interested in this and I'm willing to negotiate, willing to go up in price. So he countered at 200. I kind of looked at shipping costs, and I kind of estimated, okay, how do I get this to be somewhere in the $200 range or just below $200 if I can. And so I came in at 180. Boom, he accepted, and we got the deal done. So I came up $70 from where I first offered. He came down $70 from his initial listed price. So meeting in the middle, that was solid. And great figures, and this will never come out of the package. I'm just glad to have these in this box set because they look phenomenal together, and I was really pleased to get this. Didn't like the price, but I love these items, and they're a great one. So there are a couple different 5-packs, but this is the one I found, and this is the one I picked up. So great thing is, it has all of your main characters, well, except for Shawn Michaels, but it's got your main 4 here, minus Shawn Michaels, and they replaced the black Hulk Hogan with the red Hulk Hogan. So, theoretically, I could open this up, take out the bubble and everything, and take this guy out and display him loose with the others, but no. This is a beautiful overall package. Really solid graphics, I think, all around. So this doesn't give you, like, the appearance of, like, a bootleg figure. This looks like a regular main business of action figures. Trying to think. The only downside, and I'm thinking again for childhood as someone who would play with these if I were a kid. Having 5 wrestlers, it would make it uneven. At the very least, have another wrestler so you could have a 3-on-3 match or something like that. 3 good guys, 3 bad guys. Something. You always got to have an even number. And maybe if like one of the guys was a referee, that would work. And then you could have 2-on-2 matches or something. But there would always be someone who couldn't compete in the match. Technically, I would probably look at this and I would probably make the Red Hogan my referee if that were the case. I'm not going to play with these guys, but still. I like the little graphics at the bottom with the little family and fans watching. Yeah. This is solid artwork. I like this package a lot. And did I overpay for it? I'm comfortable with what I paid for this. I obviously would have liked it to be a lot closer to the $100 mark. I just don't think the value, I'm not reselling this, of course, but if I said I want to sell this tomorrow, or if I want to sell this 10 years down the road, I just don't think I could get my money back with this. And you think, okay, well, if you sold it 10 years from now, you got to look at it, enjoy it for 10 years. That's your value right there. So if you turn around and sell it for $50, you know what? That's just profit for you. I don't look at it that way. That's not where my mind goes. But so again, guys, I understand that this was a action wrestling video. I know that I've said it before, but again, for a very short video, I wanted to at least be able to include the IWC incoming figures that I just acquired. So it's basically a 2-for-1 video. And I was planning on, so the one seller, I got 2 new figures from him. And there was one other figure I was buying from him. I've already paid him a substantial price. I was going to pay him in installments, but I don't know. I might be really impatient and might just say, bite the gun and just pay the full amount. You know, the sooner the better. Because I really want to hold off on that video, that Holy Grail video follow-up, until I have all those figures in. So, and if I win Andre, I probably will just jump the gun and pull the trigger on that. I think that would be a crazy fun video to add. I think the video where I was able to add those 4 Black Card Series figures in, I think that was an amazing video for me. Definitely a highlight pieces to add to the collection. And I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. It's slow moving recently, but I'm close to completing this collection. And I think I will go out and buy a blue shirt referee. I don't need it, but you know what? I didn't need a second carded Lou Albano. I didn't need a second carded Jimmy Hart. You know, I had a Corporal Kirchner card, a little extra one, and I think I'm going to slide one of my extra bearded Kirchners in there and kind of make it MOC myself. The cards are no different or anything, so to my knowledge, the posters and everything is identical. So if you've got a mint or near mint figure, you know, I'm not trying to resell it or anything. It's just something for the display, so why not? We'll see if that works. And then I'll have 2 different Kirchners. I don't know if I'll ever buy the stubble version on card, but I probably will. Right now, the variants, of course, are not the most important thing to me unless I get them for a fair price. But the new figures are what I want. And right now, if I win Andre, that knocks that out. If I win the other figure, you guys know who I'm talking about. That'll be the greatest acquisition ever for me. That'll complete a series, and that'll just leave the British Bulldogs on single card, blue shirt referee, if I choose. Don't need to. And the 2 Hogans on blue card, if I want to get them. Black card, so don't really need to get the 2, but... And yeah, that's it. That would be the conclusion of my MOC pickups. Ugh, crazy. What do I do with myself after I complete the MOC LJN collection? Hasbro is almost complete. Dusty and Series 8 Brett are all that I have left there. I'm probably never going to find any more Matt Mania figures from Remco. I mean, just finding this guy on auction one day was a miracle. So, and I tell you guys all the time, I don't know why it works like this. Let's say you're bidding on that Matt Mania figure and you're willing to go up to $1,000 for it. I start an auction at $500. I probably get no money for it, or maybe one buyer, bids on it. But if I start that bid at 99 cents, that auction could potentially go to $2,000. And I don't know why. If you're willing to pay $500, if you're willing to pay $700, $1,000, $1,500, why would you not do a starting bid of $500? Everybody's trying to get a huge discount, but it's insane. I'm like, that's why there's so many carded figures where people start the auction at like $200, $300, and I win because of the simple fact that nobody else was bidding on them. Works out great for me, but because I sell, I'm always thinking about the sellers as well. And it's kind of a fine line between wanting to get the best deal for yourself as a buyer and also kind of looking at it like wanting the seller to get something of value as well. So it sucks being a seller on eBay and Mercari because, like I said, if I wasn't a seller, I probably would never even, think of the other side. I don't know. I'm serious. I'd be really selfish with that. I'd be like, hey, I got this for $5 and it's a $500 figure. Hey, I'll take it all day. All right, guys. Thanks for letting me chit chat with you here at the end. I always have some of the highlights of my day is being able to come down and talk with you guys, and nobody talks back. Not that crazy, but it is the comments and stuff that you guys leave afterwards, and I love hearing what you guys have to say, your input, feedback, stuff like that. And just because I got a message recently, so a lot of time when I post a new video, my main focus is on the newest video. So occasionally I'll hit the little notifications and I'll be able to see comments left for a video I posted a day ago, 10 days ago, 2 months ago, etc. So one commenter said something about, I forgot his exact words. I didn't write it down, but something about, I know you're probably going to delete this because you deleted all my other comments. And I think, so Kitty Cat, if you're watching, bro, I just want to, I don't know if you saw my message, but this is, designed or dedicated to you. As you guys know, when you post a video on YouTube, generally, there's a little object sides there that says, hold for review or something. So if anyone's sprouting hate or whatnot, obviously it's going to be an automatic deletion. The only time in 2 years I've been working this channel, I've only deleted one comment, and that was some troll during the Random Treasures video. And he was a legitimate troll. He wasn't someone with a difference of opinion. So when he left that comment, I'm like, dude, I've literally never seen your name before, so I've never gotten any comments from you. And I know Jason from Blatant Interference Wrestling, he used to tell me that, he used to send me all these messages, and all of his messages were getting deleted. And I don't know how that was happening. I might look at my video and it'll say 19 comments, and then I'll go down and I'll read through the comments, and there's like only 11 comments showing. So it's like, where the heck are the other 8 comments? I don't get it. And so I don't know what's happening. Even my own personal comments, like sometimes I'll leave my email or phone number in the comment section, allow other people to go ahead and reach me whenever they want, and YouTube automatically deletes that comment almost instantaneously. So I've had even my own personal comments deleted, and we're not talking anything negative or bad, So, Kat, if you are watching this, man, that's, don't feel bad. I'm not deleting your comments, and like I said towards the end, I feel welcome to submit a question or leave a response. You don't have to agree with me. That's the fun part about this channel is, hearing the debate, getting feedback from other people, and looking at things from another point of view that you may not have seen from otherwise. So, again, I leave the comments open to anybody to leave any comment they'd like, spark conversation and whatnot. So I am sorry that happened, but I don't go around actively deleting any messages. That's not what I'm about. So, sorry. I know a 10-minute video probably turned into like a 40-minute video. It wasn't intentional, but sometimes I just like to yammer on. Guys, I am going to finish for now. So tomorrow is Saturday. I don't think I'm going to come down here and post a new video. I've been posting a video every day for the last couple of weeks, and I've been noticing that, here I go, keep talking, sorry. But I'm noticing that the view count is substantially going down, and I'm thinking that has something to do with the fact that I'm posting daily. And I'm going to try and take a few days off, hopefully give you guys time to catch up on any videos you may have missed. So, because the next video I really want to make is the follow-up to my Holy Grail pickups, that could be after Christmas, for all I know, by the time I get those packages. And today is, what, the 14th of December? Or December 15th? Now, Monday is Christmas, so today would be the 16th. Yeah, today would be Friday the 15th. So, will I go 2 weeks or so without posting a video? I doubt it. If I can't get those videos next, there's always something I could do in the meantime. And one of my commenters, Brad, he mentioned possibly do like walk or video reviews or something of like WrestleManias and whatnot. And that seems like a lot of fun. I've thought about it in the past, but the thing is, I just haven't done it because there are other people who are doing similar content, and I really try to do my hardest to create unique storytelling. So I want my videos to be different from what other people are doing. Some of the things like review videos, they're gonna intercede with others. Everybody's doing Hasbro review videos or LJN review videos, etc. But that's why I kind of like expanding the different toy lines and whatnot. Look at things that other people aren't. So, anything else in the short term? As of right now, no. I think I pretty much got the bulk of my items in. Right now, I'm just waiting on those last key ingredients to the collection. Alright guys, I'm going to officially shut up for now. Thank you so much for letting me banter on, and hopefully I did not put you to sleep, and overall you enjoyed the video. Any questions, comments, please feel free to reach out anytime. If you guys do, I put this out here before, please feel free to let me know if you want to reach me directly. I always love to hear from you guys, whether it's on YouTube or elsewhere. Alright, thanks everyone. I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.